if it's so, then we have to see if you endure discipline, God treats you as sons. Now, what discipline are we talking about? We're speaking of a discipline that where it hurts, it's here in the mind. It is to say that the discipline that we've received and have experienced deals with, for an example, Romans 8:29. Let's begin with 4 or 5 verses to understand how discipline begins to take shape in the life of a believer. Because people think that God walks with a bat in his hand, beating people and whipping people. It says, for whom he foreknew, he also predestined. Already there's a lot to digest. Sometimes I read like that and I stay a half hour reading that whole verse. He also predestined to be conformed to the image of his son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren, the first in his class. But notice it says, for whom he foreknew. What time was this? And what time was this? This is before the foundation of the world. So that is the discipline. You notice how you begin to think and the mind begins to exercise itself? Oh, one moment. That refers to when Paul was here on earth. No, brother, that Paul spoke about, he wrote it, and Paul was already saying those that he foreknew before time. So when you read that now, 2,000 years later, woof, those that he way before foreknew. So that discipline, it's the one that begins to kill you. That knowledge, it's the one that begins to crush your carnal opinion. Because if the seed does not fall into the ground and die, doesn't bear fruit. So you have to die. What do you have to die to? Your concept, to your form, your theology, to your way of seeing things. What happened to the Protestant system with us? That they don't understand what we talk about because they haven't been disciplined, because they don't endure the discipline of God. For an example, look, a pastor that says that you can lose salvation, he has lost his mind, because if he was foreknown before time and he predestined them and he fixed their future to be conformed to Jesus Christ, if he thinks you can be lost, Christ will be lost also. Look where this leads to, or what it leads to. That's why I'm saying when you read a verse, receive complete discipline. Let the verse whack you 20 times. That it takes your mind and it shakes it. Only with that, salvation can be lost, brother? Yes, it can. Yes, well, I don't want to talk to you any longer because I am speaking with a mule. I am talking to an undisciplined person. Have you ever seen a spoiled child? Well, that's what you're talking to, with a person, a spirit that it's uneducated, that has not endured discipline. So why speak with a pastor that you tell him, listen, brother, salvation, you can never, as a matter of fact, you've never lost it. What? As a matter of fact, you've never been in sin, because to be in sin, you have to be under the law, and the law wasn't given to you. When you begin to untangle and pull this one verse, man, we've left. We've left planet Earth and we've soared. Imagine.